10. Avoiding escalation under sustained pressure. How miscommunication hardens when strain is ignored, and how to interrupt it. Escalation is rarely the result of a single failed conversation. It is the outcome of accumulated strain that has gone unrecognized or unmanaged for too long. By the time communication becomes openly tense, positional, or adversarial, the conditions that produced it are already well established. In global client work, escalation does not usually look dramatic at first. It begins quietly, through tightening constraints, shrinking tolerance, and repeated small misalignments that are never fully resolved. Understanding how escalation develops, and how it can be interrupted, is essential for keeping high-stakes conversations workable. Escalation is a process, not an event. Most professionals think of escalation as something that suddenly happens: a sharp email, a raised voice, a formal complaint. In reality, escalation unfolds gradually. It begins when early warning signs are ignored, meaning is allowed to drift, and dignity feels increasingly at risk. Each unresolved moment adds pressure. Each assumption left unchecked narrows trust. Over time, communication shifts from collaborative problem-solving to position-protecting behavior. People stop listening for understanding and start listening for threat. By the time escalation becomes visible, the conversation has already lost flexibility. Pressure compresses choice. Under sustained pressure, behavioral options narrow. Clients feel they have fewer safe responses available. They rely more heavily on hierarchy, policy, or authority to manage risk. Language becomes firmer, less exploratory. Questions disappear. Positions harden. This compression of choice is often misread as stubbornness or aggression. In reality, it reflects a system that no longer feels safe enough for open negotiation. When people feel cornered, they protect what they can. Escalation is often the visible result of that protection. Why pushing harder accelerates escalation? When misalignment persists, the instinctive response is often to push harder for clarity or resolution. Deadlines are emphasized. Expectations are reiterated. Consequences are implied. While this approach may feel decisive, it frequently accelerates escalation. Pushing harder increases pressure without restoring safety. It amplifies the very conditions that caused communication to distort in the first place. Clients respond by defending position, escalating authority, or disengaging emotionally. What was once a communication problem becomes a relational one. Escalation thrives on unacknowledged emotion. Escalation is not purely rational. It is fueled by unacknowledged emotion, frustration, anxiety, loss of control, fear of exposure. When these emotions remain unrecognized, they leak into tone, pacing, and interpretation. Messages are read defensively. Neutral statements sound critical. Clarifications feel confrontational. Each interaction reinforces the sense that the conversation is unsafe. Professionals who focus only on content while ignoring emotional undercurrents often escalate unintentionally. Interrupting escalation without confrontation. Avoiding escalation does not require confrontation or appeasement. It requires interrupting the process before positions fully harden. This interruption is often subtle. Slowing the pace slightly can restore emotional capacity. Reframing the issue as shared complexity rather than disagreement reduces defensiveness. Adjusting language to remove implied blame lowers perceived threat. Acknowledging constraint without challenging authority restores trust. These actions do not resolve the issue immediately. They reopen space for resolution to occur. Containing escalation once it has begun. Even when escalation is already in motion, it can often be contained. The goal at this stage is not to win the argument or force alignment, but to prevent further deterioration. Containment involves stabilizing tone, narrowing focus, and re-establishing minimal trust. It may require separating the people from the problem temporarily, shifting medium, or pausing the conversation altogether. What matters is preventing escalation from becoming the dominant dynamic. Once escalation stabilizes, repair becomes possible. Hierarchy and escalation. Hierarchy often becomes more visible during escalation. Clients may involve senior stakeholders, legal teams, or formal processes. This is frequently interpreted as aggression. In many cases, it is simply a response to increased risk. Understanding this allows professionals to respond strategically rather than emotionally. Instead of resisting escalation of authority, they adapt communication to the new level of formality and constraint, reducing further friction. Why avoiding escalation preserves long-term relationships? Escalation leaves residue. Even when outcomes are achieved, trust may be damaged. Future conversations become guarded. Collaboration feels effortful. Avoiding escalation where possible preserves relational capital that is difficult to rebuild once lost. Professionals who are skilled at preventing escalation are often perceived as steady, reliable, and safe to work with under pressure. They are trusted with complex situations because they reduce volatility rather than amplify it. From prevention to control. Avoiding escalation marks the completion of the preventive phase of communication management. By recognizing early warning signs, stabilizing meaning, protecting dignity, and interrupting pressure before it hardens, professionals maintain control without force. This chapter closes part 2 by showing how escalation develops when prevention fails, and how it can still be interrupted. The next part of the book moves from understanding what to notice to applying what to do, introducing the MC3 tools that allow professionals to manage global client conversations deliberately and consistently. When escalation is avoided or contained, communication remains a workable system rather than a battleground.